He's already the most unethical player in the NBA right now. And you compound that with being the dirtiest player in the NBA? I don't want you playing for Team USA. How about that, buddy?
Some people are calling Joel Embiid, even though he is battling through all these things, the injuries, the Bell's palsy, his own demons. Some of them are saying that he is literally the least fun player to watch in the NBA. Now,
out of the stars or just anyone?
Out of the stars, I guess.
From Rudy Gobert, but
yeah, I want to say maybe. I probably still disagree.
And they're attributing his foul baiting and his unspoken about dirty play. This is pretty graphic.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh my god.
Dun, 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 dun,
Turn off the lights in here, baby.
Ooh,
extra bright.
Aaron Donald.
Oh my god. That was a foul, by the way. That one. This is for those that are listening on the audio side. We were watching a compilation of Embiid not only flop, but honestly put people in situations to be injured. I actually don't know another way to say this besides what looks to be intentionally injuring people in basketball plays.
You could say some of it's intentional, some of it's unintentional, but it's happening. That's what I can tell you. It is happening. Stepping on foots, falling on people,
hitting people in their nuts. Yeah.
Curb stomp is crazy.
Yeah, curb stomping Grant Williams is actually
pretty. See JB's face? He was like,
yeah. What the fuck? So with that being said, and he has a bunch of gripes. We'll get into the gripes in a second. Is Joel Embiid, should he be in the same category as like the Draymond Greens of the world and all this stuff like that?
Absolutely. That Cameroonian dirtbag is one of the most dirtiest players in the modern NBA, and niggas just let him get away with it because he plays like a 7-foot James Harden half the time. It's actually kind of amazing the shit he gets away with. He genuinely gets away with a lot of the shit Draymond does. People don't even know. People didn't know that he kicked those Knicks players in the dick twice, 3 times in one game. People didn't even realize it. Dirty as hell. Joel Embiid is one of the. He's already the most unethical player in the NBA right now, and you compound that with being the dirtiest player in the NBA. I don't want you playing for Team USA. How about that, buddy?
Wow.
Go back home.
Oh wow, okay. This is
no Gilbert.
Crazy. Very, very much guilty.
No Gilbert.
With the Cameroonian thing. For me, yeah, I don't know if he's exactly Draymond's here for one reason only. Draymond, you could argue that's like his only purpose on the team. And I think that's a nasty argument. I think Draymond is just genuinely a great, going to be an all-time defender. But Joel Embiid, he's at least supposed to produce. He's at least supposed to fall certain ways to not injure his body. However, some of the shit is just flagrant. And y'all know me. I am the king of the duck rule. And that motherfucker does some shit where I'm like, oh, wow. If it were Draymond, y'all, insta suspension. He wouldn't be playing game 4, game 5. Hell no. Look, I ain't going to lie. The most damning thing about the Knicks game when he pulls Mitchell Robinson's foot wasn't that he pulled his foot, but Damo was alluding to it, or maybe even directly talked about that game. Dog, there was like 5 clips trending that day. Yeah. I'm like, yo, this is the same, like, not series, chat. It's the same game. Yo, he was running it the fuck up, bro. So do I think he has to go down as a dirty player right now? I hate putting labels on motherfuckers, but I gotta say, yeah, it's just too. It's too what the fuck is going on, gang. Like, every time somebody's getting their legs stepped on, you're literally snatching legs down. For those that don't understand how significant that is, bro, okay. So, yeah, I gotta say he's a dirty player, but I don't think he's to Draymond level, only because of role on the team.
Guys, the NBA playoffs are heating up, and I am excited to bring to you Prize Picks, the best way to play daily fantasy sports. All you're going to do is download the app, go to the website, and then you're going to select your players and make some picks. I'm going to go Evan Mobley, more on points, easy one. And I'm going to go Devin Booker, less on his PRA. I'm going to put some money in, $1 million. I'm going to go ahead and hit place entry.
And if you use code LKIB, Prize Picks will match up to 100% on your first deposit up to $100.
Shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring this episode.
I think flopping already puts a lot of players in dangerous situations that they shouldn't be in. I think that gets multiplied when the dude's 7'1", 310, or however big Embiid is. Like,
oh hell yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of unnecessarily dangerous situations that get multiplied because of his frame. And it would be one thing if a lot of these are accidents. We all know Joel Embiid flops. He foul baits. So a lot of this is intentional. A lot of this is done on the offensive end. And the fact that he gets effectively like incentivized for it with free throws, I think that's nasty. But hey man, get your buckets the way you get your buckets, I guess.
So
that shit is nasty though.
That's another part of the conversation as to why that people believe that he is one of the least interesting players in the league. So the other day, or least fun players to watch in the league. The other day in the game, in the fourth quarter, he went 0 for 5 shooting, scored 1 point. But it's because of his foul baiting antics. And I'm gonna sound like an old head here, but I can see why people are tired of the NBA. I tweeted out the other day, it was somebody that, I think it might have been Joel, but they went for a layup. It might have been LeBron even. They went for a layup, they went for a shot, foul call didn't come, and automatically they throw their hands in the air, and they're while the other team is running back, they're looking for a foul. They're looking for the foul. And I had to tweet it out. I was like, this is a common NBA possession, by the way. Like, that is becoming so prevalent in today's game that it is actually very, very annoying. And one of the main people that do this is Joel Embiid. So I want to say, ask this question. I want to show some evidence. Is he the worst foul baiter since, I know James Harden is the name that's easy, but Trae Young, James Harden, and I want to show this because this is James Harden in 18 and some of his foul baiting.
Take the legs out, James. Oh no, not that clip.
That's a foul on Steph Curry, I want to say.
Arm hooker.
So the question is, who's the worst foul?
Yep,
baiter?
there it is.
Yeah, who is Joel the worst foul baiter since this guy? Since
yes.
Oh yeah, I'm about to say yes. Since yes, Peak Harden beat Joel. I'll say
Peak Harden used to just extend the fuck out of his body for no reason.
Peak Harden has to still be number one because Peak Harden
changed the game with it. He changed the game with it.
Not only does he change the game, I also think he's more slick than Joel Embiid too. Like he'll on the replays, you'll be like, "Oh, what the hell?" But like when in motion, you're like, "Oh, that's a foul." Like he's literally that damn good at it. Like them arm hooks. Again, in hindsight, rewatching them shits, you'll be like, "Oh, what the fuck?" But like in real time, you probably were like, "Oh, that's a foul." Until you realize, oh, that's James Harden doing it. Yeah, it probably ain't no fucking foul. So it was, I'll say James Harden won. Since James, I know Trey's good bump.
Luka.
But nah, I got Joel. I think Joel just because he's too damn big. And on top, like, he's too damn big to be doing it. So when he does it, it's just like, wow, you really are just not trying to dunk the ball right now. And I know it sounds like we dunking on him, but the whole foul baiting thing's a real issue. Dog, Danny Green's not playing basketball anymore. Like that's his teammate. Like, this is insane. That's the levels that this shit goes to, bro.
Are we watching more? Are we watching more?
No. Because what Sage said just really got me. What you just said is very important, and it's going to transition us into something else. But ultimately, like when Embiid does these things, it does not lead to winning basketball. And it's gonna lead me into we're gonna do a hot take of the week. It's gonna lead me into my hot take about how players handle themselves in games, because what he's been doing and Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant, what they've been doing is absolutely pissing me off. But back to Joel Embiid, these are interesting stats about him.
Oh my God.
Joel Embiid has failed to make a shot in the fourth quarter in 21.2% of his playoff games. Again, let me read that. Joel Embiid has failed to make a shot in the fourth quarter in 21.2% of his playoff games. Not shot 21%, but failed to make a shot in 21%.
One in every
I'm trying to look up how many playoff games he's played. So he's played a total of 57. So roughly 21% of 57. That's like 11, 12 games. It's a lot of games.
Now, how many of those? Now, I will ask, are any of those games elimination games? Because if you're telling me he's even multiple games, one game is already crazy. But there's multiple games where you went scoreless in the fourth.
Oh, I think the one where they lost the Hawks, he went scoreless in the fourth. In that elimination game. At least off the top of my head. But I want y'all to hear his words too. Because this is, again, him already getting the excuse meter pumped up to me. Joel Embiid says Knicks fans taking over in Philly pisses him off. Disappointing. I love our fans. Think it's unfortunate, and I'm not calling them out, but it's disappointing. Obviously, you got a lot of Knicks fans, and they're down the road, and I've never seen it. And I've been here for 10 years. Yeah, it kind of pisses me off, especially because Philly is considered a sports town. They've always shown up, and I don't think that should happen. Yeah, it's not okay. I don't know. I can already feel the excuses pouring out of him if they lose this series.
Yeah, the only excuse I'll give him is, of course, I mean, he's not 100%, but that, nah, I'm good off that. I'm good off the hometown thing. Nah, you good. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of people that play New York. When New York's good, then you understand. Laker fans will be annoying on Twitter, but New York, yeah, all right.
You know, the fans that travel the most, New York, Boston, and probably Lakers.
God forbid you're still in the East Coast. Oh my Jesus! Like they're right up the block. Ear drunk. Yeah, New York is gonna be on that.
I wanted to ask Damo, because Sage had brought it up. Joel Embiid, in some of his antics, has actually injured some people, and because we're seeing how injuries are plaguing this playoffs, which we gotta talk about that. We did injury. We didn't cross our fingers hard enough, I guess, because.
That annoys the fuck out of me, dog.
Yeah, injuries were so great this season. The lack of injuries, people playing games, but Kawhi Leonard now is definitely. Ty Lue says Kawhi Leonard is definitely devastated about being sidelined indefinitely sidelined with the knee inflammation. Luka apparently has some stuff going on. Jalen Brunson has some stuff going on. We know that the Bucks are decimated. The Bucks are decimated right now.
All three hurt done, right?
Yeah, all three. Well, is Chris Middleton hurt?
I thought.
No,
I think he's playing.
He's
not
playing.
At 100%.
He might be. I might say he might be injured, but he's still active. But yeah, Joel,
Giannis is cooked. Bobby Portis got ejected last game. Damn.
What's it called? Jamal Murray is also another one who has been cooked. But seeing is, I mean, we already got some natural injuries going on. Should players face some sort of repercussions for what appears to be intentional injuring of players?
I feel like you can review the plays, and if it's agreed upon amongst a committee that whatever act definitely could be deemed as a non-basketball play that was on purpose and hurt somebody. Yeah, I feel like there should be some actions taken, whether you hurt a teammate or an opponent.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those things that I'm all for, but it's just going to be hard to find someone guilty. I think the level of finding someone guilty would have to be, one, get the player that was injured. Hey, keep it a bean. You think this was intentional or not? Two, the committee, whoever is voting on these things, maybe even get outside NBA sources, look at the play. Yeah, that looks pretty crazy, gang. But yeah, I think if a merge of those factors line up, for sure, yeah, I'm all for that.
Can I just say, to Sage's point before you go, Souls, I don't think it'll be a good idea to ask, and if like the players involved, if they think somebody tried to hurt them, because you got a situation where a nigga don't like somebody, teams don't like each other, or niggas just upset. So it might be a biased act. You'll feel like niggas didn't see on purpose.
It shouldn't have no direct result. Yeah.
I would say, but a committee of five people, two of them not even basketball players, two of them just athletes in general, or former professional athletes in general, three of them basketball players, and they sit and review the play. Does it seem intentional? You keep three actual people that play ball because they can see a play and be like, okay, I can understand how this happened because you're trying to do X, Y, Z. I can understand that. They can explain that to the non-athletes. But you have two people there that don't play basketball at all. They're just watching two humans have a fucking interaction. And they can be like, nah, he's laying on the ground and grab that nigga's knee. I don't know basketball, but there's no reason why you grab this nigga's knee.
Would do to hurt him.
Yeah, that sounds like something you would do on purpose, grabbing somebody's knee. But yeah, my fault. Go ahead, Sos.
Nah, I think that's the biggest question is just it would be hard to measure intent, like with what you said, because you're already trying to figure out how do you measure intent. Because a lot of these, like you can make a non-basketball play without the intent to hurt someone. So to penalize people for essentially playing the game the way the rules are set up, I mean, I don't know. It would have to be blatant on some flagrant 2 shit, like in hindsight, bro, that should have been a flagrant 2 shit, and then let's penalize them even more, especially if the injury is crazy. But yeah, that's just a tough thing to manage.
But you don't think that like a non-basketball play is already grounds for like, all right, some discipline needs to be taken because we playing basketball. How can you commit a non-basketball play playing basketball? That's our, for me personally, it's kind of black and white there. If we can see something and deem it a non-basketball play, Draymond punching what was it, Nurkic in the face? That's a non-basketball play. Even if you didn't mean to punch Nurkic in the face, hey, let's get away with just swinging our arms wildly on the court next to other athletes. You were just in the play with him. Why am I turning and doing a whole 180, swinging my fist? That's a non-basketball play. Penalty.
No, I feel you on that. It's just like, let's say if someone's reaching and you do the flail up, and you happen to hit someone's eye. Like, I just don't think, like, you unintentionally hurt someone, but you were still kind of making a basketball play because you were trying to get to the line. I don't know. It's a tough line to cross, in my opinion. But
they get rid of them dumbass rules to begin with, but they technically have. They just are ass at enforcing it. Technically,
I don't know. I think it's also weird. We could talk about what the league can do and all this stuff like that. That shit is weird, Joel. That shit is weird. I'm not even really trying to get into the differences between what you and Draymond do, because what Draymond does is weird too. I just saw a compilation of you going straight for niggas' knees. I just saw you going at people's feet, stomping on their feet hard, looking intense. Like, what I saw you do was very much, I'm trying to cause real injury and not quote unquote pain. You know, Draymond slapped somebody in the face, hit somebody in the nuts. Still wrong. Wholeheartedly believe it's still totally wrong. But that's a difference in you diving at somebody's knees. You are 300 pounds. You can't do that. You cannot do that. That to me is fucking outrageous.